Ragnarok going to continue his aggressive ZVZ style? Let's do it. Game number 1.
Fight!
And here we are, Acropolis LE, baby, a ZVZ game in the top left-hand corner. In the blue,
Chivo Ragnarok.
and his opponent in the red, in the bottom right. Oh, wait, you guys can't see that yet. I'm looking at the wrong monitor again.
That's
Rookie
all right.
mistake.
Gosu Crew Dark.
There we do.
Finally, there he is.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll tell you, Artosis, loud cheers in the crowd for Chivo Whiting tonight.
Yeah.
This new team pickup for Ragnarok seems to be going well.
Well, he's definitely gaining some popularity recently, not just with his great results, but he's been making a lot of YouTube content, kind of teaching people about Zerg, about how to play StarCraft 2 well. And, you know, stuff like that is always really appreciated by the fans, I think.
Man, it is so good to see these pro players who can stay on the tippy top of their game and still be able to produce content for the huddling, yearning masses like myself.
Yeah.
That don't just want to watch them play, but want to learn how to play like them.
Yes, yes, indeed. I like that part of the interview, by the way, where Bomber says, I think Terran should play like Maru, but, well, it's not really reasonable.
The internet gonna blow up. Just
Yeah.
play like Maru. The
Yeah.
meme is
It's
truly
real.
immortalized. Once it comes out of Bomber's mouth,
Yeah.
that means it's gospel, right?
Yeah.
Although that said, the balance whining from Dark in the interview,
Oh
a little
my
tough to
gosh.
stomach.
Well, he's a Zerg player, so, I mean, he's got to do it.
There's par for the course.
Yeah.
Man, mirror builds here from these two guys so far. Both just taking the second gas, getting the pool up. No crazy 12 pools, nothing,
Yeah.
no Zergling aggression. Nothing that would make us say, ooh, this is interesting, just quite yet.
Yeah, well, it's kind of a long map, right, Acropolis. It's going to take you a while to get your rush over there.
Sure.
So these guys giving each other the benefit of the doubt, going to go ahead with this economic play to start with.
Now,
But who's going to actually get aggressive first? That's the big question,
Well, so
ZZ.
that ties into my question that I was going to ask you.
Yeah.
I know that Ragnarok and Dark have played each other before, plenty of times in the last couple years, right? They've been GSL compatriots for a while now.
Sure.
Is there a difference for Ragnarok between facing Dark and facing previous GSL champion, Dark? Does that change in his status? Is that going to change how Ragnarok sees this matchup, or is he just going to stick to the plan, chums, play the same game that he would play no matter what?
I think he'll stick to his plan. He's been pretty good about that overall. Like, he comes up with what he wants to do and does it. It's just, I guess I'm a little bit biased in my mind, because when I think of Ragnarok CVZ, I think of that series he lost to Scarlet, and it was like probably the worst CVZ series of his entire life. Like, he went proxy hatchery, 3 hatch speedling, and lost to 2 hatcherylings, and it was like the weirdest. It was like when I told Scarlet that he had a 3rd hatch,
She was like, he did?
She was like, where were his lings then? Like, what's right? So I keep thinking of that, and I keep thinking, well, Ragnarok, there's no way you're going to be Dark then. But I should let him have his fair shot here.
Absolutely. I mean, you don't get out of a winner's match against SOS and not be a pretty darn good Zerg player.
Well, right now, Dark is the one that's turning on a little bit of aggression. He is making a bunch of lings first. The 3rd base is going up for both sides, so there's definitely the possibility here that Dark could get up here and possibly cancel the 3rd base of Ragnarok.
Wow, that would be a bold play there if Dark could force a cancel on that one. We see the Zerglings pecking away already. A couple Banelings here ready to defend against it. Now, Ragnarok is sending in some Banelings here. Can he get the connections he needs? The answer is no.
All right, yeah, he sacrifices those 2 Banes to kill the other 2 Banes. Oh my god, a really bad detonation by Ragnarok there. Now the Queens are surrounded here by the Zerglings. He's gonna lose them both.
Dark has got to be chuckling to himself there. 2 Queens down. Banelings not getting the connection they need. A couple nice shots off there on the Zerglings, but so many Banelings morphing in at the natural ramp here, or natural choke rather, for Ragnarok.
Yeah, Dark, he has a lot of Lings and Banes in here. He is dealing so much damage at the moment. A lot of workers still here for Ragnarok, but that's not going to help him against Ling Bane.
I don't care how good your mineral walking is, he's got enough Zerglings there where this is going to be dangerous. Now, of course, it does take 2 Banelings to kill off workers right now, and there's only 1 here, but Dark is morphing in 2 more. Those Banelings from Ragnarok not going to finish here, and it looks like Ragnarok is panicking a little bit.
Oh my gosh, these Banelings so close to the drones.
Whoa!
Detonate it, what are you doing? Kill him!
Just a little too zippy there, moving those Banelings up the ramp, but it doesn't matter. Ragnarok just going to GG out. Dark putting on too much pressure, wants me to get home in time for dinner.
Yeah, I guess so. I mean, Dark is just killing everyone right off the bat here. This is the confidence of a champion.
I think his team must pay him extra for the shorter his matches go.
Well, they're not paying him by his supply count, that's for sure, okay? Because this guy is barely going up the tech tree at all.
Not even.
What's the highest that we've seen? Like a Nidus that Lings and Queens came out of?
Have we seen a Roach out of Dark yet tonight?
He made those 7 Roaches to kill Bomber with.
That's right. So, yeah, up to, wow, all the way up to Roach Tech. What a bold choice.
I know, right?
From Dark, man. Going into game number 2 here, Ragnarok looking a little defeated, looking a little tired in his chair there. Yeah, I don't know if I'm maybe projecting that onto him, but it certainly feels like the position I would be in if I was down 1 game to Dark.
Well, you know, you got to expect Dark to win the group. He just won GSL. He's the Zerg you're looking up to as Ragnarok here. New Repugnancy, our second map. A little bit smaller. Maybe we see some aggression out of Ragnarok this game.
Let's hope so, man. Ragnarok needs to pull a rabbit out of his hat here. His tournament life not on the line yet. Of course, this is the winner's match, but let's go into it. Game number 2 here, starting on New Repugnancy. Dark's map choice.
Chivo, Ragnarok.
You see what I see.
Yep. Immediately.
Oh my God.
They're not going to be cutting away to any crowd shots at the beginning of this game, Artosis. We need to keep the action
Crew, Dark.
right here.
Yeah. So, yeah, Dark, he's speed running GSL tonight, or at least he's trying to.
Wasn't SGDQ last week?
It was,
He
but
just missed it.
he was busy winning GSL. I'll forgive him for it.
You know,
forgive him for it.
Now that you mention it, I think he probably made the right call.
Yeah, it's slightly bigger deal for him there, but I mean, a late submission. We'll see if he gets into the round of 16 as quickly as it seems like he's going to.
We've raised that donation incentive $500,000 to get Dark to speedrun the GSL.
I know, right? God, just playing so aggressively here tonight.
6 Lings, 8 Lings already out on the map. What's he going to go up to?
Well, this looks all in for me. Like, he's going to make the Bailey Nest. He's mining a lot of gas here.
Yeah.
He's just going for the kill straight up.
No question. We see the hatch only about halfway finished for Ragnarok. Of course, Ragnarok with the natural already down. But yeah, a lot of pressure. So Overlord is going to see it, and Ragnarok has got to be raising his BPM by about 10 or 20 points right now.
When you're not even trying to dodge the Overlord, how much does Dark not care about what Ragnarok's doing right now? He is just going for the throat.
That is the confidence that those golden wings pinned on your chest gives you after taking down a GSL. Already 6 Zerglings. The natural finishes up here. Ragnarok desperately dropping that Baneling Nest down. One Spine Crawler. I was right the first time. Spine Crawler going down to try and wall off that mineral line just a little bit. Give him some nice SimCity in the main. But, man, this natural definitely going to be sacked.
Yeah. I think he's just kind of leaving that there. It's a smart move. You may as well. You're going to die if you cancel, because then they just go to your main base.
Right. Now, a couple more Lings are popping out here for Ragnarok, but Dark already one Baneling on the way. Baneling Nest only halfway done for Ragnarok. One good detonation ends this game, and that's the only way that Dark can end it now. Ragnarok has got to hope that it waits. Ooh, a good pick off there, though, by Ragnarok.
Yeah, that's pretty important. He's buying himself a little bit of time right now. Can he get that spine up all the way? You know, there's definitely the possibility that Ragnarok holds on and the game goes forward, but no matter how you look at this, Dark is in control.
Sure, so Dark 5 workers behind now. Can he just go home, drone up, and call this a win from here, or does he need to keep his foot on the gas?
I think that what you do is you kind of keep the pressure on lightly here. You make it so that they can't take their hatchery too quickly, but yeah, drone up a little bit. Maybe take your own hatchery at home.
And keep him pinned on one base.
Yeah.
All right, I think that's a good play for him here, really limiting the options that Ragnarok is going to have as the game moves in past this hyper early aggression, early game stage.
Well, Ragnarok has all these things that you don't really want in the early game, like defensive Banelings, Zerglings without speed, and a Spine Crawler.
Oh my gosh, I didn't even notice that. No speed on those Zerglings yet. Oh, that's painful. Now, Drone going to get in here, but Dark still posturing to try and prevent that base from going down.
The 2 Banelings coming up right now. Queen's zoning them out. Beautiful micro from Ragnarok. He's really holding on quite nicely at the moment.
Man, when I'm playing Zerg, my heart is always racing when my Queens are off creep. But Ragnarok, a consummate professional here, absolutely doing great work with those Queens. Now it looks like Dark's moving those Banelings around here, desperately trying to find something. And there it is.
Oh, that's so painful, losing 4 Banelings to 2 right
Look
there.
at Ragnarok slumped over in his chair a little bit. It's not the end of the world, but it's getting close.
Yeah, the world is falling apart before his eyes. You know what? Like, he did so well up to that one little point, and then another Zergling killed another Baneling. It's like, how many of your Banelings are going to fall right now? You don't want to be spending gas on them, but you do have to have some in case Stark turns on that aggression again.
This is one of the reasons that StarCraft continues to fascinate me, man. Every match that we have cast tonight, wildly different.
Yeah.
The ZVZ is a micro pool of beautiful micro, and as soon as you make that one mistake, unlike, you know, that the late game ZVP that we saw earlier, where a couple mistakes here and there you could punish a little bit,
yeah,
but wouldn't be game ending. In ZVZ, you slip up, you lose that one APM, you misclick one time, and Dark just rolls you over, man.
Sometimes a single Baneling will do you in. That is for sure.
Now, Rag able to get that second base up, a little bit ahead of Dark, surprisingly, and a Roach Warren on the high ground. Is this the right call for Ragnarok?
You know, I think it's all right because he is getting that +1, and when you get that +1 done, you're two-shotting the Lings, your Roaches become very, very fearsome. I'm surprised, though, as you said, the fact that he got his natural up this quickly in comparison to Dark. A lot of times, when you open with that Ling Bane aggression, you're kind of aiming to get your natural up quicker so you can catch up on the drone count and pass him on the drone count. But as we see here, Ragnarok's economy is actually still fine.
Yeah, 31 workers to 29. Yeah. I tell you, I love it when I see a game where both players play well. A lot of times we'll see a game, okay, a little bit of aggression here, a couple Banelings coming in from Dark, but obviously Ragnarok 2 Queens, Spinecrawler, a couple Banelings. It's going to be really, really difficult for Dark to engage into that.
Did you see that? He started a Nidus and then canceled.
And then started it again. That had to have just been a misclick, right?
Maybe. I mean, I don't think a Ling actually made it up there, did it? So
no, just sacrificing a couple minerals to the mineral gods there with the hopes that your second Nidus is more lucky than your first.
Yeah, I guess so. I'm not sure exactly what went down, but
saw the first Nidus building and decided it was weak and wouldn't work for him. Get the more powerful second Nidus up that passes muster. That Nidus definitely going to finish up. Where are his overlords? There it is, moving into position on the south side. But Dark has a smell on this already. He knows what's coming.
How many Queens are out right now? Because this is actually kind of like an old matchup that we're seeing. If it's going to be Nidus Roach Queen against Spire, but
4 spines
immediately.
4 spines as well, and this is not going to go up. Oh my goodness, Ragnarok slouching over in his chair even further. The Baneling's there just in case, but the Nidus going to go down, and the initial choice from Ragnarok not going to pay off here. Roach is moving into position though. 5 spine crawlers on the low ground, 6, 7 spine crawlers on the low ground. There's no way Ragnarok wins this one.
You are not going to break that, but maybe he can put on enough pressure that he sneaks another Nidus out or something. I don't know.
A couple more Roaches, a couple Queens. Baneling's waddling forward here, but slow Banes off of Creep. Not going to be beautiful. And Nidus in the main, though. But the Roaches are engaging here, trying to get a couple shots off. One of the spines does grow down, but the 2 other spines still in position. Some nice transfusions, keeping this alive. And Ragnarok going to load up and load out into the main here. Can Dark defend?
All right, he's made his move. A nice play there by Ragnarok, finally getting it up, but Dark immediately jumps upon that Nidus.
So cute. Dark having a beautiful play there, picking off that Nidus. That means these units are now trapped here up against Spinecrawlers. Mutalisks on the way out here. Is Ragnarok going to GG as soon as he deals with Mutalisks? Is that the end of the game?
No, I don't think so. Like, he's killed a decent amount of drones. He's actually cleaning up quite a bit. Look at this. He's brought through drones. He's going to make spores here.
This is a lot of damage. Look at the damage going down here. He's picking off the spawning pool. It looks like the main could be under attack as well. 4 spines on the way. The spines from Dark waddling slowly up here, but there's no creep connecting here, and it looks like Ragnarok really doing a good job here.
Yeah, he truly is with these spines coming up. Let's see if he can hold on. He really wants those spores to finish. Another Nidus going down in his face. Dark pulling his drones right now, but it seems like Ragnarok may be able to break through.
The Queens. There it is! Ragnarok pulls it back for game number 2.
Wow, really nice play there after losing his natural expansion in the early Zergling Baneling rush of Dark.
Oh, this will go down in the textbook. Somebody clip this whole game, put it up as a how to defend.
I think that's called a VOD, but yeah,
you're right, a VOD. It's much too long for a clip. Ragnarok's play extending beyond those 30 seconds. Really doing a great job recovering, getting that natural up surprisingly fast.
Yeah, no, he did a great job. He had some great micro in there as well. I think strategically, the way he did it, he tried the first Nidus, it didn't work. I mean, that's demoralizing, but he did the second Nidus at the front, put the pressure on, which allowed the Nidus in the main to get up, and without those spines, Dark did not have enough to hold on.
The importance of connecting your main and your natural by creep shines once again. Those couple valuable seconds that allowed those spores to get up to defend against it. Match number 3, King's Cove. How does that look for ZVZ?
Well, I tell you what, like, I mean, you can always see things like Ling, Baneling, rushes, and things like that, but it's definitely one of these maps where you can get up to those 3 bases and defend reasonably well. I'm thinking we could have a bit of a macro game finally.
Wouldn't that be just a treat? 2 macro games in a row, but here we go. It looks like the game is ready to roll here. King's Cove, map number 3.
All right. Ragnarok looking for that upset against Dark. Here we go. Let's see who advances in first place.
All right, here we are. Match number 3. The rubber game here. One of these players
Chivo, Ragnarok.
is going to go on.
Yeah. Wouldn't that be something if Ragnarok won this group?
Oh, the salt and vitriol on the internet. Dark, is he already losing his touch? But in the bottom corner.
Gosu Crew, Dark.
It's nothing more fun than saying a player's washed up for losing a match.
Now, I don't want to curse anyone here, Artosis, but do you recall the tale of King Maru IV, who after winning 4 consecutive GSLs, entered his 5th one? Do you know what happened to him?
He won it, right? If I recall correctly?
Guess again.
He lost it.
He lost it immediately,
Ooh.
dropping in that rubbers match, going down. What are the odds that Dark finds himself in the losers match and gets picked off by whoever's left over after the losers match?
Well, okay, so if Bomber were to beat SOS, I think he'd have a kind of an easy time there, but
Sure.
It's hard to imagine SOS not being in that final match tonight, right? It's SOS.
I think you're right. As much as we love Bomber and as glorious as his reign was back 5 or 6 years ago, the first match, the first set that he showed us, maybe not quite as on top of the meta as we might expect from a player. But, you know, returning after 4 years off, he needs a little time, as he said in his interview, to crank up on the new strategies and to really get a feel for what the meta's like these days.
Yeah, but, you know, anything is possible. We had so many upsets last season. Maybe this is another season of upsets. Maybe we'll just continually have seasons of upsets until we don't call them upsets anymore, and the real upsets would be people that won GSL advancing. Right?
That would be a fantastic world to live in, wouldn't it? The uncertainty, the drama, the excitement.
It gets about as random as poker or something at that point. I don't even know. Right now, looking at the game, pretty similar stuff. Both players have expanded. They're getting into their Zergling speed. We'll see if anyone turns on that aggression, starts pumping out any excessive amounts of Zerglings, but as I said, I'm kind of feeling this going more towards macro.
That would be a real treat. I would really look forward to that. Both of these players, obviously, I think playing safe. You know, when you get into a 1-1 situation, you're not going to bust out, usually, of course, not going to bust out the crazy cheeses. You're going to do something that you're very familiar with. I think this is something I've seen you talk about before, where you're going to take that strategy that you know, that 55% win strategy. This is not a time you're going to gamble with that 60-40, you know, if he scouts me, I lose kind of strategy in a game number 3 like this, when the round of 16 is on the line.
If you do, I mean, that's ballsy in another way. And if you win,
very bold.
You know, I guess when you win, you look like a genius. When you don't, it's like, oh, that was so obvious. Why did you do that? But here it does kind of look, right, like they are going to play that longer game. 8lings from Ragnarok. Let's see if it goes above that. 10-18. There you go.
Oh, smokes.
Okay, he's going to turn on that aggression.
All right, this is what I love to see. Third base coming down now from both players. But yeah, the 18 lings, the elephant in the room, if lings are allowed to be elephants, already on the map now as they pop out for Ragnarok. Is he going to cue those straight across the map?
You know, I think so. He's got to get his aggression on. If this is what he's going to do, he's got to do it. He's got to do it quickly. Right, if you can knock out that third base, it's a big deal.
Oh, man, right underneath that Overlord. So Dark does know it's coming. Is he going to be able to shift anything into position or force? No, that third base definitely going to finish up. So Dark has to be ready to defend against this.
Really interesting. Dark actually has a counter Baneling attack going on, too. He's going to try to blow up the drones at the natural. We'll see if that works out.
Oh, my God. Watch that mini-map, guys. If we are not able to show it on the screen here. But, yeah, the aggression from Ragnarok here popping in, picking away at that third base. But here come the 2 drones there from Dark. Only 1 queen to defend. And here we go. 1 explosion, 2 explosions. Not the damage he needed there. But there it was. Ooh, what a hit.
A big explosion right there. And actually, so far, I mean, doing it decent job here with these Banelings. Ragnarok pushing back the lings of Dark. Dark gets a few more Banelings. He's sending his queens down as well. Of course, the creep isn't there yet, so they're taking their sweet time.
But there we go. 2 queens getting on. Whoa, Dark sending it back to the natural there, but 2 queens look like they are able to defend. And, you know, it's not an immediate win for Ragnarok. Has Dark lost so much that he's in trouble? I don't think so. Dropping a Roach Warren behind this, got the Baneling nest up, even an Evo Chamber on the other side for Ragnarok. Are both players agreeing to a draw here? Going to continue on?
It seems that way. It does seem that way. And they're pretty close overall in drone count. So it seems like this game might just stabilize straight up. Like, we see Ragnarok running back and forth, but, I mean, is he really going to do something? I don't think so.
Dark has so many Banelings on the map, and they're spread out. He's got the creep connecting his bases now. I think he's going to be in a fairly safe position here, and his Roach Warren significantly ahead of Ragnarok, who is not yet teched up at all.
That's kind of funny, isn't it? But Ragnarok right now getting his +1 range, so we definitely know what he's going for. He's going to get into his own roaches. And, you know, when both these players start to really get into roaches, that's a situation where they're not really going to break each other. Roaches going up these ramps, that's going to be really hard to break other roaches.
Absolutely, especially on these narrow choke points that King's Cove has at that natural with the debris there that nobody's going to break down because it's too dangerous for either player, really. So yeah, I think both players in a good position here. The Roach Warren for Ragnarok now starting up, and Lair Tech on the way for both players as well.
Yeah, the game definitely slowing down. I mean, we still see that little bit of action, right? If you have that APM, if you have that speed, you may as well run your lings around and see if you can poke ways in. Occasionally something happens, but at this level, it's not a whole lot, right? Like the Zergling gets in for a scout, but what's he going to scout? Exactly what he expects to see.
I'm so grateful this game's slowing down. I tell you, I just turned 30 this summer, Artosis. If I see one of those 10-minute Ling Bane games where every second is exciting, my heart rate gets so high, I'm lightheaded after the cast.
Yeah.
Some Roach Ravager action, a little pump the brakes a little bit is going to really help me out, and my doctor is going to be very pleased when I go in for my checkup.
No to hell.
Oh, geez. So a couple of Roaches coming out for both players here. The usual stuff on the way. We see Overlord Speed from Ragnarok. Glio Reconstitution, Roach Speed on the way for Deer. Deer. No, he's not in this match. Dark. And
Close enough.
You
Most of
know,
the
they both
letters
start
are
with-
there.
At least it's not like SOS versus Sue in the same match.
Oh,
I
yeah,
would
no,
definitely
that's-
mess that up. I mean, look at the Ragnarok keeping Dark active, which I really like. You know, a lot of players, once they see that the Roach Détente has been announced and, you know,
Yeah.
I can't kill you, a lot of players will sort of retreat and just give up.
Sure.
But I think Ragnarok doing a good job here, at least showing that he's up to the challenge here.
Yeah.
Keeping those Zerglings on their side of the map, scouting in, forcing Dark to stay on his toes.
Yeah, you can really see him putting in the effort. It's quite nice to see, right? He's not slacking at all in this game. He's putting everything he has on the line.
Putting in the effort, and 10 more Roaches as well. Is that too many Roaches for him? This seems a little more aggressive than you might expect. Look at that. They're still cranking out, but the Spire has now come down for Dark.
I do like the Spire ad when you're both going for roaches, right? If your opponent just continues on roaches and you go into the Spire, you can get a big advantage. Now look at that, a Spire on both sides.
Beautiful. These players looking into their crystal balls and both seeing the same result here.
Witches.
Are they all witches? Are we in Salem now? Is it just burn them all at the stake?
I guess at least the people who advance forward probably, right?
So double Spire, well, single Spire on two different sides of the map. Yeah, a great read, obviously, because Roaches and Ravagers famously pretty terrible against anything that pops out of a Spire.
Yeah, it's quite true. I rarely see games where it's Roach into Spire for both players. So
Unscouted, nonetheless.
yeah, that can become very interesting. Like, have we ever seen mass Roach into Mutawar? Like, I don't think I've ever seen that. I would love to see something like that. I don't know if that's on the cards, though.
If you haven't seen it, Artosis, there is no way in heck I've seen it. Because you've seen approximately 1,000% more games than I have.
To be fair, you cast Silver League players, so you
That's
may
true.
have seen things that I have not seen.
I promise you, I've seen horrors that you would not imagine. You know the area around a pylon that you can build in? Imagine one pylon surrounded entirely by cannons in that one area, and that's it. 10 minutes into a game.
Well, at least it's well defended, right?
Terrifying. Absolutely terrifying. Hydralisk dead now from Ragnarok, but Nidus from Dark.
Whoa, 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 whoa. What are we seeing here? Corruptors, Roach, Burrow movement, the Hydralisk Den, a Nidus.
Oh,
what are those Corruptors doing?
Just these players pulling aces out of their sleeve on both sides, both of them with the Ace of Spades. Somebody's going to get shot in this Old Western Saloon here in a minute.
Oh my god, this is like super cool. I don't even know what to think about these Corruptors. Is he going to go and try to kill buildings? Like, is he going to go around and kill Overlords? Does he think that mutas are being made by Dark and he's going to counter them with Corruptors?
Now, I have no idea. I didn't see the Corruptor numbers here. How many does Ragnarok have
It's
on the map now?
7, I think?
Okay, so Overlord is going to spot those, so now Dark knows what he's up against. Dark already bumping up against the supply limit here, but the Nidus for Dark going down in the main of Ragnarok, and Ragnarok has seen it, but the Roaches are engaged. Out in the middle of the map here, this is going to be very difficult if Dark's able to strike in the middle and the main.
Yeah, okay, he is sending some units back to deal with that Nidus, but that leaves him with so little over here, and Corruptors do not hit units that are on the ground. Oh my god, Dark is everywhere, and he has more everywhere.
Okay, so nice play there by Ragnarok to pick off the Nidus in the main. There is another Nidus, though, from Dark in the middle of the map, so he's going to be able to reinforce with those Roaches a little bit more. He is building 4 more Overlords because he's bumping up against the supply block right now, and 13 Roaches going to be the continued response, but Dark pushing in to the third here. It looks like, ooh, Nidus going up in the third here. Dark desperately trying to defend away, but the third base for Ragnarok is going to go down.
Dark.
Look at that, Ragnarok trapped on the opposite side, the bottom of the ramp there. Dark doing a great job zoning out Ragnarok, and Ragnarok's army supply getting very low.
Dark is destroying absolutely everything. GG, that's it. Dark just smashes through. You know what? I think that was a serious mind game. I think that Ragnarok was going Corruptor maybe to counter Muta.
Okay.
And then Dark was like, oh, we're both going Spire. I'm just going to run you over the Roaches. Like, and
sure.
Man, did that ever work.
It worked so beautifully. Ragnarok even trying to defend in the main there, picked off that Nidus. But, you know, it was just too much, too soon, too fast, the usual Dark.
Well, beautifully played by our defending GSL Codes champion. We are now going to go over to an